Hi, I'm Jillian Soder and I am the owner of Body Labs Yoga and Education, and I am on a mission to help create confident yoga teachers through anatomical insights. So I've got Stan up close and personal with us today because we are going to look at this part of the body. All right. Now, the hand is a really interesting structure when we are looking at our movement, okay? Because in some yoga practices, inversions occur, right? And we'll go into these handstands or forearm stands or what have you. And particularly if we're looking at handstands or a crow pose, anything where we're balancing on the hands, like take a look at, take a look at the way that this is built. There's a lot of space in this structure, right? If we look at it as a whole, there's a lot of open space. There's not a ton of robustness to it, right? It looks almost delicate, okay? Now, the hand is made up of 27 bones and 27 joints. Okay, so it's different from the feet in that way. The feet have different numbers, but the hand has 27 joints and 27 bones in it, with many muscles that come into the hand, many tendons and ligaments as well, all right? But we can't really talk about the hand without talking about the forearm as well, all right? Now, the forearm is actually made up of two bones, all right? So I just need to turn and stand here a little bit. Made up of two bones, okay? So right here on the pinky side of the hand, right here is the ulna, all right? So if I bend Stan's elbow, the ulna is what makes that bony part right there, okay? So that is from the ulna. This bone right here is called the radius. And it's called the radius because it allows us to pronate and supinate the hand, okay? So what I mean by that is this movement, okay? So I can keep my upper arm stable and have zero movement happen in my upper arm, and yet my hand can rotate. That movement does not come from the hand though. That movement comes from up here at the elbow joint, all right? And you might be able to even feel that in your forearm if you really tune into it, okay? Now, if we do this in Stan, we've got supination right here. So if he's holding a bowl of soup, we've got supination, and then we've got pronation, all right? Okay, so that's what it looks like with the hand, but take a look right here, what happens. That bone actually crisscrosses over the ulna, which stays stable. So the radius travels around, rotates around the ulna in order to allow the hand to pronate and supinate, all right? So the easy way to remember those cues, if you are an anatomy geek like me, supination is when you're holding the bowl of soup. Pronation is when you dump it out, okay? All right. Now, what does any of this have to do with our movement stuff? Well, if we are looking at some of the structures here in through the wrist, a lot of people will have some discomfort in through the wrist here. There is a structure that goes across here that creates stability in through the wrist because we have all of these little tiny bones that are in here. But the structure that comes across here sometimes can create compression in through the wrist. And so that can create inflammation in this area here. And so when people flex through their wrist, it's going to feel, or it has the potential to feel really inflamed and really painful, okay? So keeping that in mind when we are talking to our students, as well as allowing our students to have this rotation happen in their practices instead of only only doing our arms in one direction, making sure that we're kind of playing with it, change it up, get some movement in through all of these different joints, all right? We're going to talk about it a little bit more in through the movement.